Hello everybody.
Hello.
Hi, welcome back. I'm Darfius.
And I'm Tara.
And you're watching Serial Movies.
Thank you for watching us. Thank you for clicking this video. Thank you so much. If you're new here, consider subscribing. And if you have subscribers, thank you and welcome back. What we do on this channel is we do movie reviews, and especially now, we are reviewing movies from the Oscar nominees. Yay! Oscar is our favorite season, so now we are just celebrating the countdown to Oscars by reviewing the movies that are nominated. So this time, the movie that we are reviewing,
We're called Ford versus Ferrari. Sorry about the ad lib. Sound that I made. Yeah, but I have to, because it's a racing movie.
So Ford vs Ferrari was directed by James Mango. It was written by three directors: Jas Butterworth, John Henry Butterworth, they're brothers, and Jason
Keller.
And in this movie, if you have seen it, the cast are Christian Bale and also Matt Damon.
So
among others.
I'm sure most of you guys familiar with the name Carroll Shelby.
Yeah.
Yeah, like maybe if you're into big American muscle car, he's one of the
pioneers. One of the big names.
Big names in producing the cars.
Yes. So Ford vs Ferrari was nominated for 4 Oscars. One being Best Achievement in Sound Editing, Best Achievement in Sound Mixing, Best Achievement in Film Editing, and finally the Best Picture of the Year.
Yeah, even though it's not that much, it was nominated for Best Picture. I mean, you never know.
I guess because the movie really makes you feel something, and those people who are in the Academy voting for this movie to be in, who is nominating this movie for Best Picture, has a certain feeling when they're watching it. Also probably because Christian Bale is in it.
Yeah, I mean, he's another Oscars magnate. He's another Meryl Streep species, Tom Hanks species. Ford vs Ferrari, what is it about? This movie actually is about a famous dispute between Ford and Ferrari.
Duh.
Back
the title
in
says that.
Yeah, I mean, like back in the 60s. Back then, Ferrari was famous for making the best car because he wins every year, I think, for the 24 hours Le Mans, one of the most toughest race in the world during that time. So I'm not sure because nowadays Tara mentioned there's a few more race that was very challenging.
You have a rally, also 24 hours rally. That's crazy. I think rally is harder.
Another one is what, Dakar?
Dakar.
Yeah, Dakar, that one.
Rally. Dakar rally is one of the biggest ones also.
Is it new or it's already famous
been
for
there
a
for so
long?
long.
Or it's been there for so long. So yeah, maybe because they just joined the 24-hour Le Mans. So the movie is at the beginning, Ford tries to create a new company with Ferrari. So they try to make a joint partnership with them. So when in that partnership, they promises that the race team belongs to Ferrari and the production of the car belongs to Ford. But Ferrari refused the offer because the question that Ferrari asked, that if they decided to want to join the 24-hour Le Mans race, who get the last call? I mean, who gets the last voice to say? So Ford said they get the last vote, like they get the majority vote of deciding whether they get to join the race or not. So Ferrari doesn't want that, so they give a huge insult, and the deal was cancelled. So Henry Ford II insulted by Ferrari because he said he just carries the name, but he doesn't really carry his name, his power. He doesn't carry his talent in making good cars. So Henry Ford II was insulted, so he decided to create his own team of engineers, creating the best car possible using all resources that he have. So apparently he hired Carroll Shelby, played by Matt Damon, to make this car. So Carroll Shelby is one of the person that experienced in the 24-hour Le Mans. So hence Ford decided to hire him. So Carroll Shelby decided to hire Ken Miles to help him in building this car. which Ken Miles played by Christian Bale, was a very unique character. Like he's very, they call it like a wild dog. It's hard to control him, but Carroll Shelby believed in his talent. So yeah. In the end, Ford's car manages to beat Ferrari in the 24-hour Le Mans race, but unfortunately, Leo Beebe is one of the high committee in the Ford's company manages to trick Ken Miles to lose his solo win at the race. It's very bad because he has a personal grudge against the guy. So yeah, I just need to say now, Leo Beebe is the most hated character ever. I hate him the most in the movie, especially because
he's so annoying.
Yeah, he's so annoying. So acting wise, I'm gonna say Christian Bale in this movie, he's sloppy, he's ill-tempered, he's funny, and I mean like he lose all his Bruce Wayne charm, because I know him first as a Batman before I even watched American Psycho. So yeah, I mean he lose all his good looks, he just become like a total slob, skinny, malnourished person because he's very skinny. Yeah, but I saying he totally pulled it off. But then again, I say Christian Bale always pull it off. So yeah, Matt Damon, to me, he's just being himself in the movie. I never really see his difference in his character of any character that he plays. I've seen a few of Matt Damon's movie. He just plays someone who.
Well, he's different in Martian.
But the thing is, like if you want to put difference between Christian Bale and Matt Damon, Christian Bale is very clear of the person that
character
he changed. Character change. Christian Bale is like very chameleon. Matt Damon has like one distinct, characteristic that he brings in all his characters. That's personally to me, not to anyone. So I think like Matt Damon, I don't see he plays someone else. I just play him with different names. So yeah. How about you?
Well, of course, you cannot go wrong when you have Christian Bale, when you have the Christian Bale in a movie. And this time, he aced his character too. You can never go wrong when you have Christian Bale in a movie. And this time, in Ford vs Ferrari as Ken Miles, he still aces the character. He's that good.
True.
And he's very methodical and all, and I just felt like, he was fine.
Even Joaquin Phoenix hated him for being so good. In one of Joaquin Phoenix's speeches, he said he hates its guts. He hates Christian Bale for being so good. So yeah, like I said, it's undeniably to question his talent. Okay. He's just very chameleon.
So how do I feel about the movie? I remember when right after when we watched the movie at the cinema, I said to him that this is an Oscar material. And turns out to be, I'm right. They're in the Oscars and they're nominated for freaking Best Picture too.
She has a distinct taste. Usually she gets it right. A few years now.
I remember getting out of the cinema feeling lifted by the storyline and the performance of the actors. It makes me feel a certain way or so. Like I said, probably, if you look at their nominations, it's not that big. It's not that much, or the nominations that they receive are not in the big categories that makes them deserve the Best Picture. However, I believe that those people at the Academy who voted for them who nominated them for Best Picture feels a certain way, a certain kind of way after watching the movie that makes them feel like, oh, this is an Oscar material, man. So that's exactly how I felt. How do you feel about it then?
So yeah, when you mentioned about the qualities of the movie, I think it's not, we cannot really expect anything when it comes to Oscars. Greenbook, you know how many nominations they get during that year? 3, and they got Best Picture.
Yep. Academy always surprises.
So nothing is surprising. So how do I feel about it? My young self, young boy, emerged when I watched this movie. My competitive side, when you watch a racing movie, you always you want someone to win. No matter you just know the character for the first time, you say, oh, this is the main character, so I want him to win. Yeah? Watching a racing movie always the best experience. I feel sad because Ken Miles suffer all the injustice and the discredit of his talent. And what I love about this movie so much is about this movie is telling the truth no one have told before. I'm sure none of us have heard of Ken Miles. Maybe if someone who really into the racing world they know his names, but I think the guy deserves better. After we watch the movie, like he's very talented.
He's like the unsung hero.
He's like the unsung hero in the movie. When you watch it, his record, he beats all the records already, but in the end he be tricked by Leo the shit baby. So Leo BB was such an ass. You guys just need to know that. Remember when you heard the name Leo BB in the movie, he's an ass. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. So my favorite scene would be, unfortunately, I love the three Ford car when they drive a line to the finish line. I think that scene was beautiful, even though it was this disgusting scheme made by Leo BB.
Wait, did you know that what they say when you hate someone so much, you're gonna fall in love with them?
Not this
right
guy.
Now it sounds like you're being obsessed with him. You keep saying his name.
Yeah, it might turn out to be I chant his name in my sleep. Oh damn. But no, I just hate him totally. Okay, so just another one. I love the scene. I love friendship of Ken Miles and Carol Shelby. So the highlight of their friendship, I love it when they fight. There's a one scene where they have this dispute because in the beginning Carol Shelby didn't let Ken Miles participate in the first 24-hour Le Mans that they joined, and it turns out to be they lost the race, and Carol Shelby arrived and admitting that he was wrong. So what did he get for Ken Miles? A punch in the face. So and then they fight like a childish kid. So I love the way they portray their friendship. Like I love the childishness that they shows how close they were in the movie. Yeah. So how about you?
Well, for me, I like that scene too, the fight scene. It's cute, and also it says a lot about their friendship. They're very childish when it comes to these things and all, but they don't want to hurt each other.
Hit with a bread.
I don't remember which one. One of them grabbed a can of food and tried to hit the other person, but then revert for bread because they don't want to hurt the other person. That is very, very cute, and I enjoy that scene very much. This is not really a scene. It is just a moment. It's just a brief moment in the movie where we can see that Carol Shelby actually framed the wrench that he was thrown by Ken Miles during in the earlier scenes of the movie. And again, that shows the friendship of Carol Shelby and Ken Miles. Like even though the other one tries to hurt him, he actually take it as a joke by framing this is the wrench that Ken Miles throw at me.
You guys love Christian Bale. You should just watch it right now. Okay, so now it's time for Seriously.
Let's go.
Seriously, Ford versus Ferrari. This movie was formerly titled Go Like Hell, and Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt were considered for the roles. The real Lee Iacocca died on July 2019 at the age of 94, 4 months before the movie was released. Ford distanced themselves from the film before it was released over its portrayal of Leo BB and Henry Ford II as villains. Welcome back. I hope it's as fast as the movie. Yeah, so now it's time for our last segment. What is it?
Serial meter. Whoop, whoop.
So serial meter for storyline, we both give them 88%. It was such a great storyline, so I deserve that mark.
So for acting performance by Matt Damon and Christian Bale, we agreed to give them a mark of 83%. Yay!
Yeah, because they're very good, especially Christian Bale.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we feel about it? We both love it. There's no denying it. It's all positive comments. We give them 90%.
That brings the total serial meter for Ford versus Ferrari to be 87%.
So yeah, lastly, I think my advice, this one you should come there without expecting anything. I mean, it's easy to understand. The movie shows about the unsung heroes, like Tara said, the unsung hero who was never told in the history. I cannot stress enough how I love the fact about this movie, like they told the truth, the truth that we never heard before. I mean, if they didn't make this movie, none of us gonna care about Ken Miles. None of us gonna care that he's actually very talented. He could be his name. It could be like everybody said, "Wow, you drive as fast as Ken Miles." Make that kind of joke.
Thank you very much joining us for this journey of countdown.
Yeah. All right. So this is one of our Oscar countdown. Like we said in the beginning, for those of you who are new here, thank you for joining us today. We make movie reviews. This is the Oscars countdown, so do expect for more until the Oscars. Okay, and for those of you who already subscribed us, thank you for joining us today again. Welcome back. So yeah, and do follow our social media pages up here, I think, Instagram and
Twitter.
Until next time, bye bye.
See you. Pew.